we're ready to go. So the 6 liter is in. We got the new intake. I mean, everything's kind of new, but we got a new fuel pump. We got new LS3 injectors. We got a new throttle body, and we got a new tune, obviously. We're going to have to do something. Go up, put this freaking oil filter relocator on there, and then we can top it off with some oil, and we're good to go. Come on down. Come on down. Hey, do you know where these corner pieces might be, jack stand? We doing this?
Yeah.
Okay. Keys on. And started. Oh, brother. That worked. Pouring fuel out the back. Oh. Oh, frick. That fuel is dirt hay.
That's some nasty stuff there.
We added some idle. See how it sounds now with some idle too. Oil pressure's rising. Alternator's charging. All right, guys, until the morning. Nate's coming back right now. At first, I was kind of like, oh, I like the black bumpers. That's pretty sick.
With that blue plate when it's back on there, let everyone know it's an antique.
Yeah, that thing's going to have a black bottom of the bumper pretty soon when all that gets scraped off.
Well, did you see the license?
Hey, fire me up, boys. We're going to put this thing on the dyno, see what it makes. Guys, I painted the wing blue and it looks terrible. Someone left this here and I had no choice but to use it on something. Okay, that's cool. So 418 horsepower, first pull. You gonna fix that?
Yeah, that was bridge too.
Woohoo! Let's go!
Hey,
It's a blue wing, dude.
those fenders are hard to find, dude.
Freaking ECU disconnects.
I think you just need another coated too. That's fine.
You'll have
That's
that.
fine. Dude, from here, can't even tell.
You doing this? How much are you thinking? What kind of increase we're looking at?
I think it's gonna make 433.
433. I'm going 434. I like how I whispered the back half of that number.
Y'all rolled all the clips previously. I've never had. 435.
435. Is that just oil?
Oh, that's going.
When he took that breather off, that line off, it went like the breather's not breathing anything.
That's why I had to do that, because I'm wondering if we like take about the oil cap off.
All right, you want to make another hit, Nate? Or do you want us to clean it real quick?
Is that the dipstick? Like,
Yeah, it was happening.
yeah, that's why I was looking at that, and then I saw it out of the corner of my eye.
Needs to like be
What's incarnation? All right.
Oh yeah. I cleaned it. Okay, Nate. It's good.
proper way to degrease an engine bay.
So guys, we think we had a pressure buildup because we pulled the freaking. We have a catch can. Come on, baby.
My tuner thought he blew it up. Gonna burn off some tires. Dr. Tune them all.
So you crank up the volume on that?
He's afraid of airplanes.
That ain't a lie. Oh, that might
kazoo on me, sorry.
Well, folks, there goes nothing. Come on, Rocket. Ow. Damn, bro. Two numbers off. 440, let's go. The red one. That was a real heart shaker there moment.
All I gotta say is, made 439. I guess 441.
Can you explain the climax of events with your harmonica real quick before we end off the video? All right, so Tim, where you at, Tim?
He's taking a
Timmy,
in the woods.
Timmy, wave. There he is. There he is. Tim from Gentry and Sons. Whoa. Race car.
Time for the last bald eagle unit to get loaded up here. Old trusty.
We'll freaking see you later.
Where else after Indy?
Streetcar Takeover Atlanta. So 3 weekends in a row, these babies are going out. It's gonna be awesome.
Our friends SimpliSafe. SimpliSafe is incredibly reliable and effective home security. You order it online, it is shipped directly to your door, and then you install it in your own home in under an hour with just simple tools. Or just sticky tape. Most of it you don't even pull it all easily.
SimpliSafe on.
Smoke detectors, use your window door sensors, motion detectors, glass break sensors, water detectors, freeze sensors. Panic button, what does that do? Oh my, video doorbell, just to name a few. It's a home security system, so of course if an intruder breaks a window, its alarm is set, and then a door is opened. This thing says, something happens, and it gives you a little countdown, and then it sets off the alarm. And lets me know Matt, your 4-year-old just got up out of bed, and visit simplisafe.com/offtheranch. We appreciate SimpliSafe for sponsoring this episode of the Fire Truck Build. See you, but I can see you. Oh, we see you. Yeah, and if you poop on my fire truck, well, there's not really much I could do, but I won't be happy. So thank you for the comments. Some of the stuff you guys said was stuff I was already thinking. Fold it or unroll it really easily. I like that. Great idea. And instead, we'll replace it with a rubber hose that won't kink and stays on a hose reel. And the cool thing about that is you can get a 100-foot lind. Is I wish I didn't have to climb up here to start my pump. Like it's right here. Like the pump starts at like 5 feet and goes up to like 6.5 feet. And so like to fill it with gasoline, to connect any of the hoses, to pull the pull starter, like guys had a great idea that I hadn't thought of. They said build a platform down here that I could set the pump on, which is a good idea. The problem is if I backed into something, the first thing that would crush would be the pump. So then I was like, there's a lot of room under the... Imagine this without the fan that's holding it up. Look how perfect that thing just tucks in there. Why did I not think of that? I'll tell you why, because it takes more effort than setting it on top of this and bolting it down. I'm gonna have to build some kind of bracket that hangs it, but this thing's already... The things you need to be able to reach on this are the on-off switch. Totally can reach that. The pull, which is, this is the perfect place for the pull. Pull it right out this way. And then I have throttle control here. I have my choke. I have my fuel cutoff here. Over the truck frame, between the bed rail frames, all the way over, right above our pump. So I could just hard pipe it all the way over there. I think with some schedule 80, schedule 40 would probably work. If I ran into something, it would just rip my pipes off. I don't think I'm gonna run into anything. This thing driving through brush or something, like a tree could snag it. So I could just cut a hole in the deck here and have pipe going down into there. That's a possibility. but I really like it right there. I think it looks cool, but also I can still use 75% of this bed for other things. I'm going to go find some elbows, go fill this thing up, see how it kind of fittings and some tape, and then I saw these. Look, what the heck is that, man? Dude, it's like 2 cans put together. I didn't even need any paint, but I just thought, I'm buying that because this is freaking awesome. Just kidding, I actually need to paint. And then you want to also just strip all the oil and grease off, all the dirt, so you have a nice, clean surface for your paint to adhere to.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Cap to put on one side, so it might be good to have a T anyway, because this would be on the fill line here, and then you'll be able to drain it. It'd be nice to have it drained down there in case the freeze was coming. You just open up a valve and drain whatever, you know, all the lines or anything from the tank. So this is a 1.5, that is a 2. I'm pointing right there. There's a lake right there, and it sucks it up in here, pumps it up here, flip it around into my tank to fill my tank. It's a possibility. Don't have to worry about that now. Right now, it's just a blind-ended pipe. It is capped off, so this is the only one I'm sure that I'm going to love where this thing is. So I'm just going to go rig it and hang it with some duct tape and baling wire, probably, in place, and see if I like it there. You thought I was joking? That ain't going nowhere. All right, our pump is permanent. The diesel tank is lower than my pump, so I think we're good. Okay, I need to go back up under here and hook in. Oh, this is gonna be a 2-hand job. I gotta hook in this cam lock. All right, definitely need elbow in here eventually, but it'll work for now. All right, that is hooked in there. I think we're ready to freaking try it out. I'm gonna actually take this thing to the ranch because that's where it's gonna stay. That's where it's gonna live. So I'll take it to the ranch, fill it up, which is always full because we don't live there at the demo HQ, so we don't use a ton of water. We just use it for washing the motorcycles, washing our hands, that kind of thing. Sometimes spraying mayonnaise off my body. That one's a long story. But we have that tank, it's always full, and so my plan is, time it rains, it'll fill it right back up, and we will have that tank, 500 gallons, plus 1,000 other gallons, sitting there next to the range at the ready, in case, you know, we play with napalm or something. Not saying that would happen, Meredith, it's just a possibility. It's not, oh, I don't have all that ready to go. So for now, we're just gonna see how long it takes this thing to fill up 500 gallons. Hose is on. It's 4:20, and the date is also 4:20. So we're just gonna fill a tank. I just found it humorous. So we'll see how long it takes for this thing to be full, and then we'll see how overloaded it is when all the, okay, that's actually pretty centered between the wheels. Middle is the widest part, so like it's gonna slowly fill the middle part. So the bottom's gonna look like it fills up faster on the outside line, and then it's gonna slow down in the middle, and it'll speed up at the very top. We are less than 20% full, and it's been 10 minutes. 4:30, and so we have over half the tank full, so it is around, I don't know, maybe 275, something like that. 250 would be half. So I'm gonna say it's 250 tank. 250 be 275 be. It's a lot. It's got a lot of gallons all in there. 550, 500, 400. There's our 300 marks. We're above that, so about 320 pounds on the truck. I want to kind of turn. I want to stop and start and see if there's a difference. I said 320 pounds. I meant 320 gallons, which is like between 2,500 and 3,000 pounds. Tougher, having that water bouncing back and forth in the tank or side to side in the tank. I can't feel it right now, and I'm going on a really bumpy road. Let's hit the brakes. Seems good. I mean, that water's sloshing around back there. I'm gonna lose that hose on stuff. That's fine. Okay, it's climbing the hill super easily. Okay, I do see one little problem. The tank is not where I left it. It's, yep, going up that hill is a little more. Do this pump now, and I probably can check that by opening this. Make sure it's primed. Yep, air's coming out. Water should come out in a second. Right now. Okay, pump is fully primed. So that line is full of water. So now, Perfect. This should fill up. It's a little kinked right now. Now we spray water. You can't see this, watch. It's 8:30 right now. Out of this. So like even when it was pumping, that was kinked, that's kinked. That's no good. Everybody said Matt, get a 1-inch hose. So my hose is too big. What can I say? But I probably should get a rubber hose, 1 inch on a hose.
$100,000. And today I'm going to review it. Before I get started, be sure to check out Cars and Bids, which is my enthusiast car auction website for cool cars. Giulia Quadrifoglio, which sold for just over $43,000. If you're looking to sell your cool car from the modern era, Cars and Bids is the place to do it. You'll get tons of interest in your awesome car. And if you're looking to buy a cool car from the modern era and Bids, we have daily auctions with amazing variety only at carsandbids.com. I've borrowed this SF90 from David Lee, who's a noted Ferrari collector here in Southern California, who now has a YouTube channel called Ferrari. Check out by clicking the link in the description below. And you should check out David's YouTube channel because he has an amazing collection of cars, which also includes an F40, an F50, an Enzo, and many more. So check out David Lee's YouTube channel, Ferrari, link in the description below. So let's talk SF90. This car enters a new segment for Ferrari, putting a car between the 812 Superfast and Ferrari's ultimate supercars like the Enzo, the LaFerrari, the F90 has supercar performance to match or exceed all of Ferrari's ultimate cars, but there's one big difference. This won't be limited production like the Enzo and the LaFerrari and the other ultimate supercars have been. But it's still 90 Stradale. 90 stands for 90 years of Ferrari's racing team. This car features a twin-turbo hybrid V8 with 1,000 horsepower, or just under, 0 to 60, 2.5 seconds, and a more expensive convertible. All right, I'm gonna start the quirks and features of the SF90 with getting in. That means starting with the key, which is this little leather rectangle. Looks very classy, nice stitching, says SF90 on the bottom, and it only has 2 buttons, a lock button and then an unlock button, which you notice on the door panel is a little button with like a car and a door open on it. That button pops the door open electronically from the inside. So you press that and the door pops open and then you push it open the rest of the way. You don't have like a mechanical door release in this car like so many others. On the driver's side, this car is a plug-in hybrid, so that's not a fuel door at all. Instead, it's where you put the electrical charger to charge the car when it's parked. So you have 2 fuel doors on the outside of this car, one for actual gasoline and one for the electric charger, and that's the moment you get in the SF90 is this new Ferrari interior with screens pretty much everywhere, and I mean everywhere, including for the engine start-stop button, which is no longer a physical button. It's now on like a little screen on the steering, pressing a screen to start this car up. And the screens go a lot further than that. Once you start the car, you can see this massive screen turns on in front of the driver, this huge driver display screen, which is meant to take the place of the infotainment screen. This car, a very driver-focused sports car, so that screen is pretty much just for the driver. I will cover that more in a second, but you can tell screens are going to be everywhere in here. And indeed, they really are. Some other good screen examples, go back to the steering wheel. This little tap this area, it lights up your other drive mode possibilities. You select a different drive mode, and then that's selected, it lights up, and then the other ones fade away, which I have to say is a pretty cool touch. Not so sure about all these screens. That would be the climate controls. You tap this little snowflake screen item on the steering wheel, and it pulls up your climate controls, or at least a few of them, in your driver information screen, and then you can adjust from there. I love having climate controls on the steering wheel. If you've seen any other Ferrari models or seen my videos on other Ferraris, for instance, the turn signals are on the steering wheel, not in a screen, but these little buttons you can press. You also have the windshield wipers down in the bottom right corner of the steering wheel. You can adjust them turn them on here, and you tap on the right to make the fan speed go higher, make the fans flow faster, or tap on the left to turn down the fan speed. No dial to do that in this car. Same deal with temperature. You can see blue or red, sort of a horizontal line in the center, and you just tap, 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 tap. You can also slide your finger down these temperature controls, but it's not very effective. It only goes down maybe 2 degrees at a time instead of 1, and it doesn't always work, so you'll probably be wanting to tap it. But for those of you who would rather have traditional dials like in most climate controls, this car does the changes you're making on this screen. Instead, they all show up in the driver screen in the gauge cluster. So if you change the temperature, you can only see the new temperature in the driver screen. That information isn't clearly shown on the actual climate controlled display screen itself. You can tap on this little performance icon and it pulls up the car's like RPMs and other performance metrics, so the passenger can monitor the driver's driving while the driver drives. Although really the theory on that passenger performance display, I suspect, is so for the passenger. If the passenger wants to change the volume, there's no simple dial you twist like in every other car. Instead, you got to go into the screen, tap the volume icon, and then slide, which is just more difficult. The driver, on the other hand, has an easy volume control just behind the steering wheel screen and a slider for volume controls. Definitely an afterthought compared to what the driver gets. And by the way, one other item worth noting with this passenger screen, in the upper left corner of the passenger screen, there is a little display showing the current climate control temperatures and things that they can change. This is how you pair a phone, add a navigation destination, all sorts of different things, all done through the steering wheel with the driver. No surprise, since this is an especially driver-focused car. The driver also has this little trackpad looking thing on the right side, smaller screens split in half that show only a little bit of information. And then in the center you have the tachometer, and then on the right you have a larger screen showing more information. But you can use this little trackpad to adjust exactly what is being shown where. And you can see as I move the track, it was mentioned this trackpad movement is pretty slow. When you move the trackpad, it takes a second for the gauge cluster screen to respond, and frankly, that's true. It is unusually slow, especially for a modern infotainment system. It just doesn't go immediately when you move your finger. Probably won't be something you'll be doing that often. Presumably you'll have a favorite gauge cluster orientation that you just like to see, and you'll kind of leave it in that mode. Everything else is relatively responsive in this car in terms of screens. And by the way, one other interesting quirk of the driver is the View Max icon on the steering wheel. It will change the view in the screen. So it'll go from showing several different things to showing just the navigation map, absolutely huge, as you can see, which of course is nice to see sort of right below your line of sight if you're looking for choose which one you like the best. One other cool thing I like in the screen, when you stop the car, turn it off and get out, it shows you sort of a summary of your trip, and it also twirls around this image of an SF90, which just looks cool. I love seeing that they're sort of rotating around on this. A nice little touch from this screen. By the way, one other driver screen item worth noting, on the bottom left of the screen you can see the gauges showing your current fuel level and your current charge level. You can see them there, and they also show your current fuel range and your charge range. So you have both of those items. There's a little screen here. You tap this to lock or unlock the doors. No physical button. Instead, it's like a little screen. You can also use this to turn on or off tow mode. And maybe the craziest screen of all, to the left of the steering wheel, you have a screen that lets you turn on, and this screen even controls the power mirrors. You don't have like a simple joystick switch like in every other car. You have a screen, and you use this little pad to move the mirrors up, down, left, right, whatever. Again, basically the only thing in this car that isn't a screen. But anyway, other interesting quirks and features in this interior. For one thing, you can see everything in this car is sort of geared towards the driver. This is very much a driver-focused car, and if you're sitting in here, all of the main event here, driving this car. And that's not just true of all the screens and controls, but also the climate control vents, which are just so strangely shaped. To pull them towards the driver, each vent is sort of its own distinctive and unusual shape. There's no traditional rectangles in here. Also, another item worth noting here is the seats. You can see these carbon fiber backed bucket seats that have Alcantara and leather in the middle. They look very nice, and they're designed to kind of hug you in place, and they're intended for racetrack use. You're going around fast corners, you want the Assetto Fiorano package, and that's why it says that on the door sill. The other interesting item worth noting on the door sill is this little latch here. You pull this, and it opens up the rear compartment, which of course contains the engine. So let's go check that out. Okay, we'll talk about the engine. Then you can raise it up pretty easily yourself, but it doesn't stay put. There's no hydraulic back here to keep it in place. Instead, you have a little prop that comes off of the engine cover that you put into place, and then that keeps it from falling down. I have no hydraulic, but I wonder if that's one of the weight reduction strategies in the Assetto Fiorano package. Anyway, the engine itself, first thing you notice back here is it is incredibly low set into the car. I'm sure they do that for weight distribution. You want to keep as much weight low, which improves your handling and track performance, but it's amazing how far down that engine is into the engine compartment. Now, like I mentioned earlier, this is a twin-turbo V8 plus hybrid power, and the result is about 1,000 horsepower, just under, like 900 incredible numbers out of the SF90. It's just amazing. And it's amazing to see this engine, truly a beautiful thing, with these Ferrari logos centered right in the middle, a lot of carbon fiber everywhere, and this big, powerful engine in back. And when you close the engine compartment, you mid-engine coupe models over the years, so you can actually see the engine when the car is just sitting there. If you want to admire it, you don't have to open up the engine compartment lid. And next up, moving on to the exterior quirks and features of the SF90, one thing you notice in the back is you have 4 relatively circular, huge carbon fiber spoiler on the top, you have the exhaust right here in the middle, and then this massive diffuser going across the whole bottom. This is a very serious rear end. A lot of people have said the SF90's design looks a little too much like the F8, Ferrari's lesser extremity. I suspect not really going to be all that great, but we will find out soon. The other important item worth noting back here is the sound. Even though this is a hybrid, it is still a massively powerful V8, and it sounds pretty good. Take a listen to the exhaust note in this car. Actually, it's this little switch. You push it and the seat goes up. You push it the other way and the seat goes down. A lot of companies would just call that a power seat, but Ferrari calls it a racing seat lifter, and I'm sure they charge a ton of money for it as well. It's definitely the area behind the trunk where you can see a little glass window and then some hybrid components, sort of meant to mimic what cars look like when they show you the engine under the glass in the back. So you can see the engine in back, or you can open this and see that this is a hybrid. Kind of an odd thing, but it's there. Now, right below that, you can see the letters RAC-E printed there, which Ferrari claims stands for Rotation Axis Control with Electric, which has some cars, so I think they keep doing it just for heritage sake. Okay, so those are the quirks and features of the SF90. I'm about to drive it, but first I want to talk to David Lee, this car's owner, and kind of discuss this car a little bit. First off, thank you for letting me come and review this.
It's an advancement of the hybrid technology with Ferrari. You know, it's also interesting what they say, even though it's not a limited edition, this one and the Spider that I'm going to get, but they are getting very few numbers of them.
Right, so it's an expensive car. There's not that many people buying it.
Certainly.
Are you worried long term about the hybrid components and servicing and keeping them and do they stay reliable? Is that a fear?
Well, you know, because with the LaFerrari, I'm already have gone far. They have. I'll just go to Doug's video because then you'll get into the details of how to use it. And so somebody needs to teach us because sometimes
there's a lot of cars. It's hard to know everything.
Yeah. But the thing is, what I'm trying to give out that is different because everybody's giving out really great information is.
Is it time? Should we go drive this?
Yes, I think.
Are you nervous?
No, you've been good with my other cars. So
yeah, I'm always scared every time. All right, let's do it. All right, driving the SF90. Just saying, I'm not as terrified. That sort of thing. And the rear visibility is actually not as bad as I was expecting, given how small that window looks. Quickly, you can tell that the steering is just instant. I mean, anywhere you go, this is crazy, crazy precise. Wow. I'm a car in that sense, where it only turns like a half turn. It just immediately goes anywhere you want. That is one of the most instant steering feels I've ever felt. Now, this car does sound pretty nice. You know, everybody hears hybrid and they think it won't sound good, but I'm really blown away by is the immediacy of this car, the steering. I've driven a lot of these exotic cars, Huracans and all that. A Huracan to me has one of the greatest immediate steering feels. Yeah. This car, somehow it feels even sharper. It almost feels like you don't really need that much. And it gets a 6 out of 10 for a total daily score of 26 out of 50. Added up, and the Doug score is 72 out of 100, which places it here against rivals and relevant cars, right near the top. The SF90 actually gets the same overall score as the LaFerrari, though it reaches it different.
Just go from there. Alrighty guys, so we are just moving right along here.
Right there.
Dude, that's some amazing stuff. This is like for pinholes or cracks, and since we had a pretty deep dent right there,
we just went ahead and just used it. I mean, it's better to use it and just be safe than sorry, because you don't want to use too much of this actual glazing putty, because glazing putty is supposed to be for like the last, and then the last coat of primer, we're gonna wet sand it, and it's gonna be perfect.
Gonna be ready for that paint. So we're probably gonna do the exact same thing over here, do a little bit of dry sanding.
And then we'll probably just tape this whole side up and just prime everything for the last time all together. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir, dude. I think that's gonna turn out perfect. More light to the garage or living room area right there.
It up because we got a keypad now.
That's right, dude.
Is awesome,
Which I wish we could have got that in black, but that's all right. Maybe we could paint it. It doesn't really matter.
It don't really matter. It looks good, man. But dude, and also you might hear that it's super silent. We got a new.
Our next thing, because we're basically ready to pass the final inspection.
We already, dude.
We knocked everything out. The child safety locks upstairs, right?
The child safety locks. I mean, this is a fully insulated door as well, which kind of is going to make the final inspection go a lot better. And we did like a little bit of insulation furnish this whole entire house. That's going to be so epic, and we're definitely going to show you guys how all that
we're
stuff.
Definitely going to keep you guys as updated as possible, because once this is done, we're going to move on to building that garage next door. Dude, that's going to be a game changer, because we're going to be working up here real soon.
That's going to be
here, which we got one more coat that we want to do to make it like super high gloss. It's going to pop even more.
Yeah, we'll end up buffing it down, doing one last coat, and dude, that's it for this house.
Yes, sir. But as right now, what do you say? Are we leaving right now?
Dude, it almost sucks to leave. You know what I mean? So beautiful up here with the view, wildlife, and stuff like that. But you know what? We're gonna probably head back down the mountain to the original Gunspod garage and jump on that Raptor.
Dude, this front end looks mean, dude.
It's not even done yet. It's gonna look even more meaner, man.
That's what I'm saying. Once that front end part comes in,
which may come in today, man. It's gonna be epic.
We're gonna be on the lookout for that. But anyways, we finally made it back down the mountain here, where we're enjoying this beautiful weather, dude.
Dude, up on the mountain, dude, it's super cold and it's super windy. I mean, honestly, it got cold everywhere. It even snowed in some places, which is crazy, man. I missed the warm weather.
Cold weather, dude. Look, we can drop the doors off, man, like a Jeep.
Drop the doors and go off-roading, man,
dude.
in the Raptor, dude.
But anyways, we are moving right along with the body work here. We threw a couple thick coats of primer.
Yeah, we sanded the old primer, not the old primer. It's basically gonna be painting like the inside of the truck and the outside of the truck, because we got 3 doors we gotta paint, and we got this inner structure right here.
Dude, but I'm excited for the paint, because the paint is probably like the most exciting part. You know what I mean?
Dude, I mean, that's just the final stages. You know, once you get the paint, then the mods go on there. We're gonna go ahead and eat real quick, and then we're gonna hop back outside and then start getting on this hood. A little bit of sandwiches, you know, just a little appetizers, and we got some not mashed potatoes, just potatoes with some good meat in here and some vegetables and all that good stuff.
Almost like beef stew or something without the stew, dude.
I don't even know what beef stew is.
Dude, intake on this thing. But anyways, we forgot to mention what we did on the back end of this sucker, and we actually ended up throwing down some seam sealer right here to replicate the OEM seam. And look at that, dude, it's about dang near perfect. It looks just like the other side.
It looks just like the other side, and we threw primer over it, that way we can paint.
But you know what? When you're going to be going through the woods at high speeds in the middle of the night, you got to have that extra brightness, dude.
I can't believe we haven't put one on yet, but go ahead and light that thing up, man.
Bang.
Oh, man, I think I'm blind, dude.
And we're about to actually test this sucker out through the woods just to see how bright it really is. But they have a full one, but ever since we flipped this sucker, rolled it or whatever, it got out of whack. And I believe that one got super scratched up because as soon as the mud hit it, we tried to wipe it off and like it got some haziness or something. It was super hard to see,
this plastic actually scratches really easily. And on top of that,
Good, these
The
brakes
stopping power on those suckers.
Might do a stoppy, man.
Man, I guarantee you. But anyways, as for the Audi, we finally got the key. We got something scheduled in. Hopefully we're gonna start it in a couple of days. But one more thing for these brakes, if you wanna get something set up on your car, we're gonna leave Raptor. I mean, the Raptor is like heavy duty brakes already built in.
Who knows, man? May get some for like the S2000 or something, dude. You never know, dude.
Good, thank you.
Never know.
But guys, that is gonna be all for today's video. We're getting super close to the painting stages on this Raptor here. But definitely make sure.
yeah, I'd say so.
I just took a fit to the face and a bitch when the day, but I told her I don't think you'd be a match. It's a big move, we the best. I was down, I finesse, motherfucker said I wouldn't make a dime.
First try. Whoa! Yeah! The GoPro 8 was sitting over there. I was gonna grab it. I was like, oh, that's right. Ryan broke this one when he hit it with the van.
This guy's got a track record, man.
That's why we call him Dummy Zone.
Look, hey, I'm not a typical rapper. Nah, I don't do changes. I don't got change. That's how this shit rap. It's not, yeah. Predictable, taking the page and the book. Chapter, yeah. Got him on asking who see. Shout out Epidemic for the new beat. Do this every day until it's routine. Disappearing out of here like Houdini.
I just shaved my pants a little bit.
Just like their money, but doing the time. Try to impress the people they see.
Cracked prior? I mean, yeah. And I mean, oh, maybe not this bad. The gas cap holds it on though.
Oh, so then they're fine.
Yeah.
All right, I've always wanted to try this.
This is a great idea.
Shift, second!
Yes! Ken's gonna throw up. Ken's not doing well. Oh God. Grab it for him. He's gonna throw up.
What is Ryan wearing?
Oh, that was actually pretty good.
Dude, Evan's face was like...
We're in debt about 150 plastic chairs to Ryan's dad, Randy. Anyways, I was on Facebook Marketplace this morning, and I may have just found...
Fun fact, I've never smashed a chair.
Oh, Mike, that's not a habit you need to get into. We're already in debt.
Jeez. Come on now.
Be real!
Oh my God!
Get up, Raptor. Yep, Jesus. Stay down. Bad. Bury him. Bury him. I can't breathe.
Wait, where you going? What?
What? Where's my money?
Venmo to you, dude.
I got more chairs coming. Tell Randy not to worry. But honestly, I feel like you kind of started this. Oh shit! Get out of the way! Get out of the way!
And there's the D'Amelio
D'Amelio! Is that the baby? Hold up, is that...
Entered for both. So if you don't win the TRX, you could win the Hellcat. So check out the website once again, InShadeDesigns.com. Don't miss out. Only 4 days left to take advantage of this epic offer.
I'm not even sure why you're at this event. This is for fast cars.
Oh, this one's for fat down rich.
That's it, man. Let's go.
You're racing with no roof?
Let's race.
All right. First race of the season. This is going to be epic. Pocono Raceway, couldn't ask for a nicer day. Great venue.
and I can't wait. No idea who I'm gonna race. I know that Iconic and I are racing again, round 3. I know that's happening. Other than that, I really have no plan. I got the big wing. He's got way better aero, to be expected, but that's a good race. Man, 150, 160, the aero of the 720S is hard to beat. So there you can see, as the speeds get higher, my ZR1...
Never drag race.
Never drag racing again.
No, but you know what's cool? We're excited. We're going to see what happens. I have never roll raced this car at an event. So I can go full send. So hopefully won't be no sand on the ground, and I gotta give you credit.
Broncos, we got some off-roading stuff planned.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. So,
well, I'm ready to hit the track.
All right, let's go.
Here we go, Stang mode versus street speed. See, my GoPro is in fact on, and we are ready. Doing. I don't want to take my wing off. I don't want to take pieces out of the car. I just feel like that's silly, because what does it matter if I win that? You know, I'm not really that concerned about racing people to 180 miles an hour, basically. I'm not super worried about it. But
now, today's the day, baby.
I did lay low, but I did go out and race one car and got second overall at 100 Acre Wood. Welcome back, buddy. Rally, and I'm taking on the Baja 1000 in a trophy truck with Jack's Redline. It's a big year, and there's actually still a few more things in works that we're not able to announce yet, but some very exciting things on the way too. So, tire livery today on this car, done by the artist It's a Living. Ricardo did an incredible job on all the art for the entire livery. It has been great to work with, and we talked him into coming out today at our first.
And this marks, is it the first time since 2009 that you...
Luckily enough, being able to race against Colin was incredible, because he's one of the biggest inspirations for me as to why I rally.
First video game.
Oh yeah, Dirt 2, the video game. So back in the day, I actually raced with Travis Pastrana. I was the second driver of the Subaru team on Memories racing with Travis back then. But since then, he and I have raced against each other in rally and rallycross, but more on like a one-off event basis. So it's very cool for me to be back in a Subaru racing, but against the last race, LSPR, which stands for Lake Superior Performance Rally in Michigan. And on the last day, one of the last stages, I had one of the biggest crashes of my career. And I just tried to go flat out through a corner that wasn't. So I'm actually already in a pretty big hole. I do have 1 second against his 2 firsts. All I can do is go out, drive as quick as I can, and try and see if I can gain some points back on him in the next 6 events. And not that easy, by the way. And there's actually, now that we can see the livery, there is some very nice details that Ricardo did for me on the livery. So it's an entire package. There is the base pattern that says Tire Slayer that, you know, we've even sold as a...
It's off the 2-step and get going.
Yeah, let's get to some testing.
Left 4 miles. Go. Right 6 short, 75.
right 4 plus, okay, left 3, tightens 2 plus, 20, left 4, right, into right 6, 150, caution, press into left 5 minus, tightens 4 plus, don't, into right 5 minus, 150, left 5 short, tightens 3 at junction.
More I can do unless we had 2 more days of testing. Back in the Subaru, ready to race. Looking forward to it. Let's still get this guy out.
Thank you, man.
Here, do this. You know, it's always fun to be able to take the guy that helps us design America and East African Classic Safari Rally and Baja 1000. So that's it.
What's this guy yelling? These are just questions I'll ask in court, right?
I know.
Good morning, you guys. Check these out. The XCOM tires? Well, they're seeing the last of their tread. I was on a surface that was the equivalent to, like, I don't know, a cheese grater. I noticed everybody was complaining in the comments that I drive the Aperta with a white helmet. This apparently triggered. We made it to August. Now I need to get billionaire Mike Hall to give me a ride down to the airport. I have 5 minutes to board my plane. August. Look at all these beautiful cars. Hey, that's new. That's a son of a need right there. Airport Uber?
Airport Uber?
Dude, I have 5 minutes to board my plane.
Really?
Yeah. You gonna drive it long enough? Yeah.
I'll finish the tires off for you.
You should. Right here. Little signature. Thank you, dude. Have fun getting your big got today.
I will.
We'll show it in the next vlog.
Okay, see you, buddy.
Later. Here he comes, my boy Dave. I got a little gift for him too. If you haven't noticed, we're rocking this brand new JDM Space merch. Hey! For you. This is a new JDM Space merch, bro.
I love that. Thanks,
so I haven't said anything about what we're doing today yet. I've just kind of, it's gonna be a surprise. By the time this video comes out, it's already been Dave's birthday. So you guys need to wish Dave a happy birthday in the comments. Dave, I can't believe you're older than me. 45. What? Tomorrow is his birthday. Guess how old Dave is. That's the game today. Guess how old. Can you guess?
He is 37.
Nope, go higher.
41.
Higher. He's older than me. I'm
59.
42. There you go. Dave is 59.
Comment below, how old am I?
Scary. No paddle shifters, no flappy bullshit. This car means business and no f***ing around. That requires you to have some balls to drive this car, which brings me to thank today's sponsor, Manscaped, the perfect package. Guys, April is testicular cancer.
Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant, their Crop Mop Ball Wipes, and the Skin Safe Lawnmower 3.0 Body Trimmer. For more information on how to check yourself for testicular cancer, visit manscaped.com/TCS. All right, guys, you know we got your back, and we also have your balls. Save 20% off.
What if we put like discs on the CGT?
Oh, yeah.
Too far?
No.
That'd really piss off the purists. What kind of design can we do for the disc? Or do I just put a disc over this? We got the guys at Salter Aero recreate them for us.
That'd be cool.
Maybe? By the way, I got wheels. Need to stay black. Could refinish them. Should I do like a racing OG gold? Maybe a champagne kind of color? GT2 RS looking wheels? Raymond's in the Lightning. Let's go catch up to him. We're going to Fast Track Auto Body to give you guys an uppercut of an update on the 720. It's never. You think Raymond walks? Raymond does not walk.
Well, apparently I don't drive, Damon.
I will not deny this. Pop a wheelie. Let's go.
None of your business.
I want to see this.
My 9-bot.
What is the launch capabilities of this?
I'm going back to work.
Hey, you're all clear. Here at Fast Track Auto Body. Who's ready for the wide body Tire Slayer revival? Bam. So car is gonna get torn apart, and Dave and I will be back. We want to actually help cut this thing up. Cut these fenders. They get cut quite high. They played off because this now belongs to the CGT. We moved this and the insurance to that car.
A new name, actually.
Should we get Tire Slayer?
I want to hear from the audience below ideas for the personalized plate. 7 digits allowed, 7 characters only,
7
right?
characters.
So 7 characters for this car. What do we get?
What? I'll stick with the original idea, Andrew. Let's go see what the rest of the car looks like. I'm so excited for this. This is like a dream. Oh snap. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Man, that In the comments below, guys, I'm thinking about stripping this down and repainting the whole car signal green, making it a true one-of-one daily driven exotic supercar. Let me know. I'm dead serious too. If not that color, name another color that we could do that has never been done on a Porsche. What? That is so insane. Wow. I love this car. Look at the side windows. Yes. Look how wide this car is from right here. Well, if you didn't know, #1 Porsche ambassador's on the internet right here, so. What was the color of that paint again? One cars were the V10 straight pipe just race engines. That's what it sounds like. It's got that high pitch, but it's got that kind of buzzy funness to it. Like, there's no other engine, as far as I know, that sounds like this.
No. Actually, painful to be behind. Oh, there's Raymond's Porsche that I broke last time. I got it fixed, hey? You old janky son of a bitch. We're back.
Yeah, we're back. Just in case they didn't know. What's this guy yelling? Police officer Rover. I don't even know. It must be noise. Wasn't going that fast.
Oh, so I pulled you over for speeding. Hey, YouTube channel?
I wasn't speeding.
You were.
How fast?
Back on Bridgeport, you're going about 70.
No, I looked. I was doing 50.
Because I was going lane.
And how many cars back?
About 2.
So you were behind another car behind me.
I wasn't behind you.
Right.
Directly.
So you're in an opposite lane. Behind a car.
No. You were in the number 2. So you were in the curb lane. And then I see you driving away from me while I'm going 60.
Well, I mean, if you were looking down doing 60.
Yep.
So you were looking down, but you weren't looking up at me. Or you were looking down and looking at me at the same time.
All right.
These are just quite already, because you were smiling when you asked me about YouTube. So
there you go.
I'm not saying I'm gonna get a ticket.
No, I know.
I actually think I shouldn't. Because you seem like a cool guy.
I'm gonna have my own reasons for whether I do give you or don't give you a ticket.
100%, yeah. You're just doing your job, I get it.
Okay, so leased vehicle. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's for business use.
Fair enough, okay. Does that fall under YouTube as well?
100%.
Good, how are you? Good, are you with him, I guess? Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe.
I got your driver's license.
It's just a funny joke. No ticket. Daily driven exotics.
Look at that, #1 on the search list.
Thank you. We must.
Cool, wow.
We ranked well.
2.85.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
We do awesome. Facebook, and he was super cool. Great guy. And don't mind me for asking questions like that. I know it can come off sometimes like I'm kind of being a bit of a dick. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm asking calm, assertive questions about how exactly he's, saying I was speeding. And you're allowed to do that. Sometimes when
Maybe it's because it's so stretched out on you.
Well, it's because I have a massive set of breasts. Look, watch. JDM space, watch. JDM space, JDM space. JDM space, JDM space.